The Creator is a new sci-fi film that explores the confrontation between humanity and artificial intelligence. The opening scenes narrate a brief story about the creation of AI robots, their modernization, and how they evolved to be human-like. The visuals themselves strongly reminded me of the post-apocalyptic video game Fallout, which also began with similar scenes. However, the film itself leans more towards a remake of Terminator with elements of Star Wars. The plot revolves around a man undercover who received a task to find an individual named Nirmata, who is the creator of artificial intelligence, and had to lead the US military to him. It seems straightforward: there's a protagonist, antagonist, and a reason for conflict. All that remains is to achieve the goal of this plot. However, the plot itself appears somewhat linear, akin to primitive video games from the 2000s. As revealed in the plot, the catalyst for the conflict was a nuclear bomb explosion in Los Angeles, resulting in the death of many, including the family of the main character, Joshua Taylor. I assume he also fell victim to the explosion, fortunate to survive albeit losing a leg and an arm, but there is no information about this. There are only a few scenes that depict his wife installing or adjusting his prosthetics. There is also no information regarding the cause of the explosion, which might not be crucial. It would be desirable to learn additional details that would enhance understanding, because it was not very clear to me what motivation the main character had for destroying AI. A new country named New Asia emerges in the film. The circumstances of its appearance are unclear and somewhat strange. The nuclear explosion occurred in the USA, and the main conflict unfolded in the USA. Yet, a new country surfaced in Asia because people there were not opposed to artificial intelligence. While it's understandable that in Asia people embraced robots and lived harmoniously with them, the formation of a new country by Asian nations remains unexplained. I have a lot of questions about the characters in the film. When officers inform the main character that his wife is alive, he agrees to the mission in exchange for her rescue. However, did he not have any questions when the team he joined, whose purpose was to destroy the secret weapon, started indiscriminately shooting all lab workers, regardless of whether they were armed or not? Did he assume that upon seeing his wife they wouldn't harm her and just shoot everyone around her? In a scene where a woman fends off an enemy reinforcements attack, the AI doesn't appear as smart as one might think. She stands in an open space, hiding behind a large caliber weapon while the robots stand at a certain distance in front of her, lacking the intelligence to surround her from other flanks. I also don't understand either the motivation or the logic of the robo-child. An armed man enters the room where this child is, and the lab employee shoots at him based on a probably unfriendly disposition. However, afterward, the robo-child decides that he is not a threat and chooses to follow him. It seems like an odd decision to make for an artificial intelligence supposedly endowed with high intelligence. The most significant question regarding the film is this: if the US military can destroy anything from its Nomad orbital station resembling the Death Star, why send a troop group to destroy the target? They demolished the entire secret underground laboratory with one shot from this station. This film does not stand out significantly from others with a similar theme. Its main issue lies in the fact that there are many poorly thought out elements in the plot. The characters lack revelation, the cause of the conflict is not clear and completely not exposed, and why the main character took part in it remains unanswered. Although many liked it, for me it is one of the worst films of the year.